Good morning. Thank you for joining me here on Mind Your Matters. I'm Amanda Jane, and I am so thankful that you're here. If we haven't met yet, I am a homeschool mom to 4 kids, 8, 6, 4, and a new 3-year-old. Just turned 3 a little bit ago, and I'm just so thankful that you're here. I am going to talk today about common homeschool mistakes, 5 to be exact, and I'll let you know that 5, it's hard to narrow it down to 5. We can look through all the negatives. We can look through all negatives very easily, but I do want to look at these negatives and also have a positive tip on them. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that these are an encouragement to you as you watch and go through these 5 common homeschool mistakes. Now, before we go any further, I want to let you know that this is a collaboration. Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads, she connected with me and she said, let's do a collab. Are you interested in doing 5 common homeschool mistake video? And I said, you know what, that would be pretty interesting. So I did some writing of notes and all of the things, and these are some things that I came up with. So I hope that you enjoy these. Number 1 is scheduling. Now, when it comes to overscheduling and also underscheduling and just scheduling in general, if you know my homeschool story, you can go ahead and see that video afterwards if you wanted. But I am a high school trained history and business education teacher. So I was in the Christian school teaching children in a classroom setting. I was trained in a national college, and that's kind of how I learned things, and that's what I thought I needed to do. And I actually like planning. I'm one of those weird ones that likes planning and actually enjoys even the process of planning. So sometimes at times in my homeschool career, I have overscheduled and I've wasted time scheduling because you can't really schedule everything. So I think that was a little bit of a common mistake on my part because I wasn't sure what I needed to do. I wasn't sure what was going to work, and I eventually figured out my kids are getting up. So I came from a teacher in the classroom to a homeschool mom, so I didn't quite get the grasp of how things were going to be different. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Boy, the sun is so bright. Anyways, in the classroom, you can specialize. You can specialize, you're just history or you're just typing or whatever your lessons would be. So you specialize in that and you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about being the lunch lady in between history. You don't have to worry about going ahead and changing a diaper, doing the daycare setting stuff at the same time. You're not nursing a baby. You're not doing all those things. You're not being that, let's see what I wrote down here. You're not being the school nurse. You're not being the school principal, at least all the time. Sometimes you have to be a school principal. You're not being the home economics teacher while you're teaching one lesson. You're not going out fixing a bike at the same time, all that stuff. You're not being the janitor in between all the lessons as well. You're not being the extracurricular coordinator all at the same time. Now, there is a great superpower to being a homeschool mom and to being a mom in general, that you can go ahead and wear many hats and so on, but sometimes those hats just get to be too much and there's a problem. So it can be difficult. I actually thought life was easier in the classroom. Now, I know I might make some people mad like that, but I didn't have to worry about a lot of distractions. We all were walking in the same direction, walking the same line. Now, there can be a form of discipline in your homeschool, and things that, we can't do, or let's sit just for a little bit, then you can go ahead and go get a drink, then you can go ahead and go to the bathroom, or go to the bathroom right now, come back real quick. We just need to coordinate how we do things in our homeschool, but it was quite a difference that I wasn't just specializing in one thing in the homeschool. So scheduling, you don't want to overschedule and you don't want to underschedule. Number 2 is unrealistic expectations, or I like to call it the fantasy homeschool. We all have this idea of what we want to do. Maybe it's like a Charlotte Mason. We're all just sitting under a tree. It's like Alice in Wonderland, and the teacher is reading to Alice, and Alice is just sitting there actually daydreaming and all those things. So it's probably not a good example. It's probably a perfect example about the way homeschool is going to be. Alice is ready to go down the rabbit hole and she's just daydreaming nonsense and so on and so forth. Anyway, but we have that fantasy homeschool that is not reality. Now, there's nothing wrong with dreaming and wanting more, because from those dreams we do have changes that can be made towards that. But just to be stuck on that fantasy homeschool life and to disregard what you have in reality, it's going to be one of those homeschool mistakes. And also with that is we have that comparison syndrome. We have social media, we have videos like this, and I hope that you're not watching this to say, this girl's got it all together, she's got the perfect homeschool. Sorry to break that dream, but no, I don't. I want to be an encouragement to you. So don't get stuck in that comparison syndrome. Oh, this mom's using all this curriculum, this cool one box set, and she's teaching their children so much. We don't know the whole story, and I'm not saying that she's a failure and she's being a fake. I'm not saying that. But we need to be us, and we need to learn the things that we need to learn, and then the rest we need to throw over our shoulder and not let it bother us to steal our homeschool joy. So let's not have that like fantasy homeschool mindset. Like, let's live in reality. We can try to do some things and set some things in motion, but we don't need to be part of that comparison syndrome. Now, the Bible says that to compare ourselves with ourselves, it's unwise. So let's not be unwise. Let's be wise in our homeschool. Homeschool mistake number 3 is to have that supermom syndrome. Yeah. And sometimes this is put on us by our friends and family. Oh, you homeschool. Oh, you're amazing. And, and they're just being encouraging. But let's not let it go to our heads, because we know how hard it is. We know our failures and faults and all of those things. Now, we don't need to ponder on those. We need to work on them. But the supermom syndrome is that you don't, again, live in reality. You know that your house is going to suffer because your family is there all the time. There's nothing wrong with trying to keep a neat house, but during the homeschool day, I follow a lot of ladies on here, and they say sometimes it's just like a scene in Elsa. Let it go, and then later we will pick up and try to reassemble our life and reassemble the environment around us when it comes to our home. So that supermom syndrome is you feel like you can get it all together, you can do everything, your house can be perfectly spotless, even though your home is now a school and you are there all the time. But you're going to try to compare your home to someone who sends their kids out and about, or their kids are older, or whatever. And this goes in many aspects in life, not just the homeschool. So don't get stuck in that supermom syndrome, that comparison trap, that things have to be a certain way in your home, because it's probably not going to be that way. Also, you don't want with that, the supermom syndrome, to feel like you can do it all alone, because you can't. You can't do it all alone, and to put away perfectionism. Now, to put away perfectionism does not just give us a license to be lazy and to not do the things that we need to do in our homes. Our homes are going to be different. Our homes are going to be different. Now, we do need to have things tidy and put together to work for our homeschool. We don't need to be lazy and messy, but we need to come to grips that our homes are going to be different. You live in your house all day. Your kids are in your house all day, most of the time, right? Your school is in your house. Your walls will be covered with not beautiful decor from all of the nice stores. Most likely you're going to have charts and maps and graphics of different things that your children are learning at the time, and that's not a normal thing, but that is what your homeschool is probably going to look like. Your home, as in the building, the way it's going to look. You're going to have a library, you're going to have a laboratory, you're going to have school materials take over your entire home. So you can arrange them beautifully, but it's just going to happen. You're going to have a desk and a table that is going to be used more for homeschool than maybe just the pretty home office, and so on and so forth. So let's take away that supermom syndrome. We can't do it alone, and our homes are going to look different. Let's put away perfectionism, but also take up reality and try to do better and keep our homes for our homeschool sake. More about doing it alone. There are so many things that you can do. You can get videos. We have a Becca videos sometimes that help us with our homeschool. We also have FaceTime. If you have seasoned homeschool moms or grandmoms or someone that can just sit and listen to a read aloud, that really does help. We like to employ that a lot. We text grandma or we text Nana and we say, hey, Can you listen to a read aloud? Can you do whatever? Do you want so-and-so to read to you? Do you want so-and-so to share their math work with you? And it's so nice to have a teacher on hand to help and assist in your homeschool. You can't do it all and all alone. You can do a lot. You can't do it all, and you can't do it all alone. So I just wanted to share that tip too. Tip number 4 is a little bit also with overscheduling, and it is skipping breaks. Skipping breaks to shorten your day, or skipping breaks in general. I have other videos about why we homeschool year round, and I can go ahead and put those up, but we don't want to skip the break. Sometimes a break is going to give you so much more refreshment. There are so many studies out there that even like a 10-minute break, a 5-minute break, and it goes on, can increase your attention and increase a lot of positive things, up your attitude and all of that stuff. So taking a break is not always taking a break from education. We know as homeschool moms, we know as moms in general, that kids are always learning, we are always learning, and just taking a break from sitting in front of a paper or what have you, or doing something different, is not going to hinder the education. So that's another common homeschool mistake, is that if you are going to skip breaks so that you can keep trudging forward, it might not be in your best benefit. Now, you know the difference, so assess that wisely and make sure that's not a mistake, but it's something that you can take on to help you. So that is number 4. Number 5 and last, thank you for sticking with me so far in this video. The 5th one I wanted to say is to not be slave to your homeschool curriculum. Most homeschool curriculums are retrofitted for a purpose. So the homeschool curriculum that we use as our major spine in our homeschool is a backup. And I know there's a lot of lovers and haters out there, but I have learned how to work it for my homeschool. Now, I taught from this curriculum when I was in the Christian school, and I know how it functions in the Christian school setting, when you're teaching many, many children, so on and so forth. So for it to travel over to my homeschool, I do need to make adjustments, and I do need to let go and let live different things. So that's something that you can assess yourself for the curriculum that you're using. Do you need to skip some sections? Do you need to do, odds and evens, half, or what have you? We know that the Abeka program in particular was made, and all of that, for the Christian school and not for the homeschool, but they have had homeschool materials come out, and they've done an excellent job, but it is obviously up to the homeschool mom to not let that pacing and so on, the lessons, to be a slave, just a guide. And you don't want that to be a mistake that you're going to follow in your homeschool. So number 5, just don't become a slave to your homeschool curriculum. So of those 5, I don't know if there's any that you are currently practicing or have in the past, but I have. I've learned from them. So that's the difference, I believe, that we are trying to do better. We are learning from our mistakes, and to leave you from these 5 things that are common homeschool mistakes. I want to leave you a little bit of Shakespeare. I know, that was surprising, huh? William Shakespeare. Although this be madness, yet there is method in it. So I'll read it again. William Shakespeare. Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. You have a method to your madness. And I hope that this video was a blessing to you. Thank you, Victoria, for having me in this collaboration. I cannot wait to watch your video. She is in the UK and I am here in USA, America. So we're going across the sea, and I'm sure we have a lot in common, even though we are in different countries. Victoria, thank you so much. And if you're watching from her, welcome. Would you like to subscribe and stay a while? You can go ahead and click that button over there, and you can also like and share. That would be a blessing to my channel. Thank you so much for coming by and sticking with me in this video. And if you are here and you're needing to go over to another video, go ahead and go over to Victoria's video. I've linked it in the description box below, and you can go ahead and find it easily and watch her 5 common homeschool mistakes as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in my next video, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'm getting my day started here, and I'm going to leave you with some beautiful scenes of what I've been staring at while I've been staring at the camera. Take care, and we'll catch you later. Bye.